In this video, I'm giving you some tips so that you can stay productive even during these stay-at-home orders. What's up, guys? Brandon here from KDMR Music, the channel helping you become a more successful musician. Now, if you're new around here, we do videos every week about music marketing. We give you strategy outlines so that you can stay productive. And then we handle different situations in the news like this one. So if you're interested in that type of content, looking to be a better musician, then hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. So, first, I hope you guys are doing okay, doing well in this time, with the COVID-19 going around and everything like that. So many different states have issued stay-at-home orders. So many people are out of work. So many are losing family members and things like that. So if you're affected by this in any way, my heart goes out with you. My thoughts and my prayers are with you. And so, kind of going along with all the things that are going on, I figured it's a good thing to talk about things that we can do to stay productive as musicians so that this time of being forced to stay home doesn't necessarily mean that we're not productive, and it doesn't take us out of the groove of being musicians at the end of the day. So I've got a few tips here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through them, and I'd love to hear suggestions from you guys as well. But the first thing that I would recommend you guys doing to stay productive as a musician during this shutdown time is to get in the habit of creating every day. And creating every day doesn't necessarily mean making a whole song or anything like that. But I mean, if you're a writer, it's a good idea to just, as mental practice, keep a notebook and try to think of song ideas. I know a lot of the time as musicians, what we focus on is inspiration. Do I feel inspired today? Was I able to go outside and see something from a different perspective that, sparked an idea or made me want to write? But I think in this time, especially now that we're kind of all stuck at home, it can be hard to find that inspiration if you're looking for it externally. So I would encourage you guys to look inward. Think about things that you've already experienced. I imagine that if the more you're able to look at yourself and reflect on things, maybe there's an idea that you had when you were younger, maybe a few years ago, or when you were younger in your career. And you didn't necessarily have the skills to execute it then, but you're a little bit more skilled now. Maybe go back through some of those old notebooks and see if there's anything that you can build on. But you want to get in the habit of making music or making something every day. And this is why. It is so hard for your brain to switch from the creative to the logical side. And in these times where we're forced to stay home and things like that are going on, it is very easy to completely shut off the creative side and say, hey, my body, we're in survival mode. Where's the toilet paper? What can I get from the grocery store? And it's very easy to forget how to be a musician, right? And so 30 days from now, 60 days from now, whenever this is over, it can be very hard to get back into the swing of things. So being in the habit of doing something every day, whether it's putting down a beat idea, if you make beats, or if you have a home studio, maybe putting down a reference track, just a vocal, something so that when you are in full creativity mode, you're able to go back and say, oh, I can develop this more. So that's tip number one, to go ahead and try to get in the habit of making something every day. Tip number two is for you to use this time to learn a new skill. Maybe you wanted to play an instrument. Maybe you wanted to learn how to mix music. Maybe you've got some books, right? I'm looking at a bookshelf I've got here. I've got picture chord encyclopedias for piano. I've got a book about mastering Pro Tools effects. I've got another one about FL Studio, how to make beats in FL Studio, or really just how to use the program and all of its features. And those are manuals that I've never gone through, right? So this is a great time to sit with those, read those, learn new skills and apply them again, so that when this ban is lifted, when we're able to go out and get inspiration, we're much more efficient at doing that job. We can make better music quicker, right? So Learn a new skill. If you've got books that you haven't read, go ahead and crack them open. See if you can learn something. Another great thing to invest in right now is online courses because you've got more time to actually apply the information you learn. So, just a quick side note, if you've not heard of Skillshare, Skillshare is an online course community with thousands of online courses, and they are all geared toward the creative fields, right? So, there are classes about graphic design, music making, as well as music theory. There are classes on digital photography, as well as branding and marketing. And so, it is great. This is like it's a Netflix type subscription where you pay one monthly fee and you can access any classes that you would like. So I would encourage you guys to sign up for Skillshare. And if you are interested, you can get a 30-day free trial by using the link that's in the description of this video. So that's tip number 2. Take this time to learn a new skill, whether it's through a book or some type of an online course. Now, tip number 3 might sound counterproductive, but I promise it's not. Um, Tip number 3 is for you to take time to rest. There's been a lot of advice going around on social media, basically saying something to the effect of, hey, if you're not using this time to level up, if you're not using this time to build up a business, or if you're not using this time to just stockpile beats or be way more productive, then you're doing it wrong. And what that leads to is just this unhealthy mentality that says, "Hey, I've got to be working all the time, even though I'm not inspired, even though I've got these other things going on." And so, I want you guys to remember, hey, this can be a rough time for some people. Like I mentioned in the intro, a lot of people have lost loved ones. A lot of people have lost their income. A lot of people have lost that inspiration for being able to go outside. So it's important for you to kind of keep track of what's going on mentally, keep track of how you're feeling, and then do things that help with that. So take some time away from music, right? One of my hobbies is reading comic books. So sometimes I'll sit and read a couple of books that I've got here. Um, Maybe you've got a family, you're able to spend more time with your family, go outside, go for walks with your children, things like that. All of those things are going to help you become a more well-rounded person, and by in turn a better musician. So I hope all these tips helped. Again, number 1, try to practice creating something every day, or if you're not creating something, at least practice a little bit every day. Tip number 2 is try to use this time to learn a new skill. But going along with that, tip number 3 is to make sure you take rest breaks when you need them. There's no contest to see how much you can create while we're all on lockdown. There's no prize for it at the end. So I hope these tips helped. I hope that you guys are doing well during this time of quarantine and mandatory shutdowns. And I look forward to seeing what you guys create when we're done with all this. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know how things are going where you are. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. But until next time,